Some of you may be saying, Apptrepreneur, are you selling out to a new rideshare company? Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, this is Kevin, the Apptrepreneur. Now, I'm making this video actually a few days earlier than I had anticipated. However, you might have seen a quick little live stream I did yesterday with Ride with Peterson, Dave the Uber Slave, and some third guy whose name I can't remember. And we were at the office of Tryp, a new rideshare company that wants to revolutionize rideshare. Like so many companies have wanted to and have tried and have failed. And oh, your personal driver, that's what his name was. Yeah, that's right. Aaron, your personal driver. That's what his name was. So anyway, we were at that meeting, and we were all together, and I didn't have a whole lot of time. My time was very limited at that moment, but I said, hey, we're all here. Let's do just a brief little live stream, say hi, blow a kiss to our fans and all that jazz. And it was fun. I was not prepared for the comments I would be getting afterwards. Like, they started coming in like, hey, are you selling out? Did they pay you to be there? Did they do this? Did they do that? And it's like, crap. Not only is the plumbing going off while I'm making my video, but now I have to actually explain what we were doing there and what it entailed and whether or not I got paid off because, yeah, I could see why that would impede my credibility. So here's how it came about for me. I, believe it or not, was not fully aware of what Tryp was, aside from a couple days ago. I got a message from Dave the Uber Slave. He did like a video call through my Instagram account, which, yeah, by the way, Apptrepreneur is now on Instagram if you want to see me post stupid photos and all that jazz. But anyway, and he asked if I was going to the Tryp meeting. And I was like, what on earth is the Tryp meeting and what is Tryp? And he explained what it was. It was this new rideshare company. They haven't launched yet, but they're kind of fielding out offers and they want to talk to us for advice. And he asked if I was going. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not going because I haven't heard of them. And they didn't invite me. And if they wanted to invite me, I'm sure they would have. Not to toot my own horn or put myself on a pedestal, but, if you're looking for Uber tubers, I've got a lot of subscribers now. I'm fairly hard to miss in this game, so it's kind of like, I kind of felt like me and I had probably purposefully been overlooked if I was not invited. Because, no, you can come. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll tell them you're coming. And so I ended up squeezing it into my schedule, even got there on time. And when I got there, there was Peterson and there was Aaron and there was Dave. Uber Girl Paula was supposed to be there, but something came up and she wasn't able to, which is a shame. I actually would have loved to have met her in person, having talked to her on the phone and all that jazz. So anyway, they're telling us about what Tryp is. It's like, and they're talking about what they have in mind to attract drivers to the platform. And you've probably seen these things around, but it's like they want you to be able to keep 100% of your fares. They want you to keep 100% of your tips. They want there to be a long-term referral program. They want to give drivers equity in the company for when they eventually go public. So one of the things like, oh, that sounds too good to be true. What's the catch? And of course, we don't know what all the catches are going to be, but there's one thing that should be noted. This is a service you pay for. You pay $200 a month. Now, in theory, if you're a full-time driver, you're not going to miss that $200 a month, especially if you're not losing any commission on the fares. You see, the way that they described it to me is that they're going to make money off the referrals and the $200 subscription fees. Like, they don't care so much about taking a commission from your ride. They're interested in looking at the 500,000 Uber and Lyft drivers out there or more and saying, hey, how can we get all of them to pay us $200 a month? That's what they're trying to think. And you know what? Since it's just an app, I kind of see where they're coming from. It could work in theory if you got all those people doing it. Are they going to actually do it? Well, I've still got mixed feelings about them. Either way, let's get back on track. So they're explaining all these things. We even made some recommendations on how they can improve it. They seem to take them seriously. The CEO was there. We did get to ask some questions, and he corrected himself. Like, we pointed out some fallacies in what he was thinking. He corrected himself, so that was a positive, impression for me that he actually seemed to be taking what we were saying seriously. But then the question came up, and I kind of asked this. I said, what is your vision to getting people to stop using Uber and Lyft? And that's where I started getting a little bit more concerned because, to be perfectly frank, I wasn't 100% sold on the answer, which was so bizarre and out there. I'm not even sure really what it was. I can't remember it. But it kind of ended up moving back to the drivers, people are going to have a great experience with the driver. They're going to do this. And it's I don't think that's going to work. And I was talking to Dave afterwards outside. One of the things he pointed out that I agreed with is that even if you get this thing launched, and even if you charge cheaper on the booking fee and cheaper on the fares, which wouldn't hurt us too much because we would get 100% of the fares, Uber is so widespread, and Uber Pool is so cheap. You call an Uber Pool, it's there in 2 minutes. And especially in LA, you can't get people to wait for anything. And I mean anything. I remember doing it, getting a ping. They would be behind me. I'd be going up to the light to make a U-turn. They'd cancel when they see I was going the wrong way. You can't make people wait for anything over here. And that's going to be very hard to compete with. And I kind of understand what he's talking about. Because, you guys know, I complain about Amazon just as much as I complain about Uber. And I tell people, don't buy on Amazon. Buy from any of your favorite stores. They have a website. And they say, oh, but Amazon has free 2-day express shipping. Which actually doesn't make a lot of sense when you really stop and think about it. Because all the other sites have free express 2-day shipping as well. You just have to spend $25, but that's fine. You're probably going to spend it anyway. But they got there first. So they've got that market grasped, and they're holding it hard. That's Uber and Lyft. And even at the meeting, they admitted you can't compete with Uber and Lyft as they are now. That's why they're doing the slow rollout. That's why they're doing this and that. So, what were my impressions of Tryp after the meeting? Well, first of all, just to assure you guys, I was not paid to be there. They offered free water and bags of nuts, which I don't even like nuts, so I didn't eat them. And it seems like a legitimate company. It really does. And I think they really are trying to do something. Will it actually succeed? That's going to be another whole nother question. Because again, I've been dealing with drivers for years. This is what inspired my video yesterday. What do Uber drivers want? Uber drivers are notoriously fickle. There are probably some Uber drivers who would pay a monthly subscription if they can avoid paying the commission and all that jazz. And right now, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting their name. I was thinking Tryp, but it's no, it's Tryp. Why did I blank on? Tryp's big selling point, in my opinion, is that there is no surge. But then, of course, I think they really underestimate just how powerful surge is. Now, granted, it's been neutered quite a bit, but it's going to be hard to convince drivers to drive for Tryp when there's surge on New Year's Eve. And it's going to be a hard sell overall. And I don't know too many drivers who are going to want to be the guinea pigs and pay $200 up front. And also, I walked away feeling a little like it was a pyramid scheme. I mean, it was just, oh, you recommend this person, you'll get 40 cents off every ride they, and then you recommend this person, then you recommend this, and it's like, so if I get there on the ground up, and I'm admitting this, and I will probably do it, by the way, if I can be convinced to do this, remember, I'm being totally transparent about this. I would probably benefit because I got out there on the ground running. But I don't know if the other people are going to be benefiting it much. That's one of the reasons the whole thing's with Mary Kay. The people who recommend the most are the ones who make the real money, not the people who sell the product. Because there's not a lot of people to buy the product. I don't know if there's a lot of people to buy this product. They didn't even have a prototype app. Now, I'm not writing them off yet because, again, what was said sounded good for the most part. And they have a vision for this company. And boy, I would love for that vision to come true. I would love for it to come true. And I will be watching them closely and I will be reporting on them closely because I want to give as accurate information as possible. And I'm glad that I was there. And we might even have some of these people on like my podcast so we can talk about them in more detail. And I had to admit, the fact that they invited Dave over there when he had made some videos that were very, very critical of this company shows that I think spoke volumes to what they were doing. I'm not at the point where I'm going to say this is going to be a good thing. I'm not even at the point where it's like it's going to work. I don't know. It sounds nice if you can implement this and if you can do this. But we don't know if they can actually pull this off, and that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye out for. But yeah, who knew that little live stream would cause so much questions? So we're just answering. So yeah, we were just answering it now. We went to the meeting. I was going to make another video later this week with very much these same thoughts, but it was like, well, we're all together. Let's just do a quick little live stream, and then people started asking questions. So here's your answer. I wasn't paid to go there. I wasn't paid to say anything nice about them. And I think my general reaction has been mixed. And will continue to be mixed for a little while. And maybe I need to see it in action to see if anything actually comes from it, but who knows. But what says you, folks? Do you agree, disagree? Are you intrigued by Tryp? I would love to know. So comment below. Like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.